A 7-foot tall player only averaged 3.6 rebounds per game? What? Hey guys, welcome back to Triple Double. Today we're going to be looking at the biggest busts in the history of the NBA. When you think about the NBA, you think about all the professional athletes that play in the greatest top tier level of basketball, especially in the National Basketball Association, where the best product of basketball players are playing at. The NBA is filled with great players that make history in every single game they play in, but as surprising as it sounds, the NBA can have some downsides to the players as well. This is what we are discussing in today's video, so let's dive right in. First up, Kwame Brown. Let's start this video with one of the most disappointing draft picks in recent memory, big man Kwame Brown. Michael Jordan's first mistake as an executive would definitely be picking up Brown with the #1 overall pick in the 2001 NBA draft. Unfortunately for Brown, his career never got off to the course that most thought it would, and it underwhelmed for most of his career. Brown never averaged more than 10.9 points per game at any point in his career, but it was during his sophomore year that it was already apparent that big man would not live up to his expectations. Brown averaged 7.4 points per game and a pedestrian 5.3 rebounds, and will unfortunately be remembered more for being the guy that Michael Jordan made cry than any of his exploits on the court. He played from just 2002 to 2003. Next up, Desagana Diop. Next up at Desagana Diop was another big man bust selected in the infamous 2001 NBA draft. What's with 2001, man? Jeez. The 7-foot tall Senegalese player was the 8th overall pick in the draft, and much like Kwame Brown, was a total flop. Despite his 7-foot frame and massive wingspan, Diop never averaged more than 5.4 rebounds a game at any point of his career, which is quite disappointing to say the least. He also never averaged more than 3 points a game, and his whopping 2.3 average in 2003-04 became much of the norm for Diop. I think it's safe to say Diop was one of the worst NBA players for much of his time in the league. During his 03-04 season with Cleveland, he just averaged 2.3 points per game while shooting 38% from the field. If LeBron even couldn't make you look good, there's no hope for you.
Oh, you see this guy? See this guy? #1 bullshit guy.
Diop went on to play for the Mavericks, New Jersey Nets, and the Charlotte Bobcats before he decided that it was just better to retire and move on to a coaching career. At number 6, Rafael Araujo. I think this pick is an absolute no-brainer, with center Rafael Araujo continuing the theme of lottery big man who struggled mightily in the NBA. He was selected by the Raptors with the 8th overall pick in the 04 NBA draft, but it was evident early on that he would not have a productive career in the NBA. Araujo's NBA tenure was actually so disappointing that it only lasted a miserable 3 seasons. The 3.3 points per game Rafael averaged in his rookie year would actually turn out to be his career high, but there was no doubt he was one of, if not the worst player in the NBA that year. He would just last one more season in Toronto before signing with the Utah Jazz, where he was also vastly underwhelming. The Raptors missed out on Andre Iguodala, who was drafted by the Philadelphia 76ers right after Araujo with the 10th pick in the draft, and he turned out to be pretty good. He's still playing to this day actually, with a couple rings and a Finals MVP. At number 5, Brian Cook. Let's move on to our next player, Brian Cook. It's somewhat of a miracle that journeyman Brian Cook's career in the NBA lasted almost a decade. Selected with the 23rd overall pick in the NBA draft by the LA Lakers, Cook immediately became a part of LA's rotation as a backup to All-Star center and legend Shaquille O'Neal. Cook was originally brought in to be a 3-point specialist and stretch 5, and he proved quickly that he was not a very good shooter from deep. When Phil Jackson returned to coach the Lakers in 05-06, he made sure Cook stopped shooting threes. While Cook's overall field goal percentage did increase that season, he was far from an impactful player on a Lakers team lacking talent. In the 05-06 season, Cook played a career-high 19 minutes, where he averaged 7.9 points per game in 81 games. Needless to say, his court time ended up significantly decreasing over the next couple of years. At number 4, Darko Milicic. Well, the next person on our list is yet another overseas big man. What's with those guys? Jeez. Another one of the biggest busts in NBA history. Darko Milicic was by far one of the worst players in the league when he got a chance to play. Milicic was selected by the Detroit Pistons with the 2nd pick of the legendary 03 draft, which included LeBron at number 1, Bosh, Wade, and Carmelo Anthony all in the top 5. Imagine wasting your lottery pick when you could have had any of those legends on Darko Milicic. Unfortunately for both Milicic and the Pistons, it was evident from the start that he was far from the type of an NBA player that any of those other guys turned out to be. But hey, at least he won a ring. Melo ain't got one of those. Whew. I mean, he did average a whopping 0.1 points per game during the Pistons' 04 playoff run. So yeah, there's that. At number 3, the GOAT, Brian Scalabrine. Moving on to our next player, who is probably going to be a super unpopular choice. I'm just kidding, the most popular player of all time, but unfortunately had to be done. While Brian Scalabrine has been known as the poster boy for NBA memes since his playing days, there's no denying that this popular player gained his popularity for all the wrong reasons. Let's be honest, Scalabrine was not a good NBA player, and despite winning a championship after the 07-08 season, he will never be remembered as a champion. During his team championship season, he averaged 1.5 points per game in a single playoff game. Never mind. While he will be forever remembered in NBA celebrity lore, there's no denying he was also one of the worst players to ever play professional basketball, and that's probably why he's at the butt of all end jokes. Maybe if he tried one of his original fadeaway dunks in an NBA game, things would be different, but oh well. At number 2, Jason Kapono. Although Jason Kapono definitely had some pretty productive years in the NBA, including being the only player in NBA history to lead the league in three-point percentage in back-to-back seasons, he still managed to look downright dreadful at times. This included the 08-09 season with the Raptors, and the season following his historic feat, Kapono's game took a massive step back, and his career began to spiral downward from there. Despite at one point being the most accurate three-point shooter in NBA history, he only managed to play 3 more seasons with the Sixers than the Lakers after the 08-09 season, and then quickly became just another NBA afterthought. In the 2008-09 season, Kapono's three-pointer percentage significantly went down as he was shipped out of Toronto. And finally at number 1, Johan Petro. Next up, we got Johan Petro, who was nothing more than a mediocre player throughout his time in the NBA. During the 09-10 season, Petro was debatably the worst player to suit up and play impactful moments for a basketball team. Despite his massive frame, the 7-foot Petro never averaged more than 5.1 rebounds per game. And during the 09-10 season, he only managed to pull down a paltry 3.6 boards per contest. What? Petro managed to play just 3 more seasons with the Nets and Hawks, but hasn't gotten a call from an NBA team since, despite being not too old. In the past couple of years, he has spent his time playing in the D-League, as well as around the world. It's safe to say Petro won't be making an NBA comeback anytime soon, and it's really not hard to see why. Imagine being 7 feet tall and not having at least 4 rebounds in a game. That is sad. Anyways, this starts up our video for today. What do you guys think of this one? Which player is the worst ever in your opinion? Let us know in the comments down below. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more videos just like this. I'll see you guys next time. Have a great day.